All right, buonasera, good evening, what's poppin'? It's your boy Big Rich. Queens, New York City, in the midst of a crisis, we still gotta conduct business. Gentlemen, you know the rules. Throw some smoke in the atmosphere. Wipe your feet on the rugs. I got a little bit of Gorilla Glue. You know how we do business. Don't forget, all listeners and subscribers interested in sending in articles and information to help the platform and expand our content, please email me at mobstories87@gmail.com. And salute to everybody that's already sent in emails. I think in tomorrow or Saturday night's video, I'm going to do that little giveaway I promised, right? I got a really good book, an extra book. But I'm going to give this book away, but I'm going to ask for something in return. You know, a little give and a little take. That's how we do. That's good business. So stay tuned for that on Saturday night's video. We're going to continue our story with, the Hole in the Wall Gang, Part 2, the lucrative and violent years of Las Vegas mobster Tony Spilotro's infamous Hole in the Wall Gang. Let's get right down to business. Salute to Team Ruckus. And, of course, this is by the way of Gary Jenkins for Gangsters, Inc. Salute to Gary and everybody at the crew at Gangsters, Inc. Let's get right into it. Quote, "They were motion detectors, but we weren't too concerned about that. I could have shut off the alarm, but there was too much traffic in front of the building, so I just figured we'd go out through the roof." Unquote. Frank Rosenthal. This is the second installment about the Hole in the Wall Gang's early history, as they stole, drank, and gambled and ate pizza in Las Vegas. During this time, the Chicago outfit and 3 other Midwestern families manipulated the Teamsters Union pension fund to loan money to a man named Allen Glick. He purchased the Stardust, the Hacienda, the Fremont, and the Marina. Frank Balistrieri, boss of the Milwaukee family, ordered Glick to promote a Stardust employee by the name of Frank Rosenthal to a position of authority in his corporation. In 1971, Chicago outfit boss Joey Doves Ayupo ordered Tony Spilotro to move to Las Vegas in support of their interests. Ayupo's actions replaced an aging Chicago outfit member named Marshall Cafano, who had been Chicago's man in Vegas. Tony opened a gift shop in Circus under his often-used alias Anthony Stewart. The Circus owner, Jay Sarno, had received a $43 million Teamster loan and would not question this new gift shop operator. Black Book. The Nevada Gaming Control Board will learn about Tony's outfit connections as they placed him in the Black Book of Banned Persons. Despite this setback, Tony lived a charmed life. For example, he invested $70,000 in the Circus gift shop, and he sells it for $700,000. Tony's charmed life in Las Vegas attracted the attention of law enforcement. With all this attention, Tony used other people to pass messages back and forth between himself and Stardust casino manager Frankie Lefty Rosenthal. They avoided any overt contact because the FBI was now working closely with the Las Vegas Metro Police Intelligence and Nevada Gaming Control. They all watched for any evidence of the Chicago outfit connections to casinos by the latter 1970s. Frank Rosenthal was not known to Vegas authorities, but when Tony brought him out to Las Vegas to be the underboss of his outfit crew in Las Vegas, Frank said, "Them casinos, we could do anything we wanted in them. Shows, getting people jobs in them casinos. We didn't just put anybody to work in them. People that were related to people. Everything was favors. Big scores." During this time, Tony needed to make money, so he will recruit men to commit big-time scores, like jewelry stores, banks, or fur boutiques. He opened a jewelry store called the Gold Rush Limited just off the strip at 228 West Sahara, and the Gold Rush became his headquarters and a focus of FBI attention. By this time in his life, Tony considered himself the outfit boss of Las Vegas, and law enforcement did not disagree. Tony was not a boss in Chicago because we know Chicago outfit boss Joey Ayupo assigned him to work under and report to Lumpy or Joseph Lombardo. Tony recruited Frank, who will recruit other Chicago burglars to join his crew. Between Tony and Frank, they put together the burglary team that the press and law enforcement named the Hole in the Wall Gang. One of the men Frank recruited was a career criminal named Ernie DeVino. Unlike the others, Ernie DeVino was not from Chicago. He was a New Jersey mobster who migrated to Las Vegas on his own. Ernie was the son of Ernest Tubby DeVino, a leg breaker and enforcer for New York mobster Albert Anastasia in the 1950s. Ernie DeVino later claimed that he and a man named Leo Guardino started the Hole in the Wall gang and eventually fell in with Frank and Tony. I think Ernie DeVino and Frank both wanted to be alpha male of the gang, but Frank's connection to Tony gave him the upper hand. No matter who started this gang, it is undisputed that by the end, this was Tony's gang and Frank was the gang's leader. Frank recruited a Chicago thief named Wayne Matecki. He was a good candidate because he had no criminal record and never moved to Las Vegas, so he was unknown to local groups. Anytime Frank lined up a score, Matecki would fly into town and leave immediately from an airport in California or Arizona. Frank tested Matecki early on by having him hide inside a Las Vegas store after closing. Matecki gathered up fur coats and other expensive items and piled them close to the front door. Frank drove up to the front door, and Matecki broke out with his arms full of fur coats and stoles. They filled the car and drove off minutes after the alarm sounded. Once Frank saw that Matecki had the heart to do a job, he became an integral part of the team. Teamwork. Ernie DeVino's friend, Leo Guardino, was a Chicago burglar. After a lifetime in and out of jail, he struggled to earn a legitimate living. Frank described Leo as a Chicago career criminal who was trying to go legit when he joined the Hole in the Wall gang. Some may speculate that Guardino thought Frank and Tony's scores would be lucrative and might become his last big score so that he could retire from the life. Ernie DeVino, who was very close to Leo Guardino, once said, "I think Leo wanted out, but Frank and Tony kept him in and took advantage of him." Tony recruited the disgraced former Las Vegas Metro cop named Joe Blasco into the gang. He was very valuable in counter surveillance and monitoring police scanners during jobs. Frank did not like the idea of working with this former cop, but Tony told Frank he must use Blasco on scores so that he could make some money. DeVino said, quote, "Joe Blasco was a great big guy, and I never minded that he used to be a cop." The crew had divided opinions on working with this ex-cop, DeVino remembered, but he was very helpful on jobs with his ability to spot other cops. So first of all, I want to say salute to GangstersInc.com. Salute to Carl Jenkins. This is part 2 of the lucrative and violent years of Las Vegas mobster Tony Spilotro's infamous Hole in the Wall gang, right? So this is part 2. Tomorrow night I'll come out with part 2A because I'm going to split this article up. It's a long article. So tomorrow night, part 2A, and we'll continue this excellent story about the Hole in the Wall gang, all right? So everybody, salute. First of all, make sure you like the video. Make sure you share the video. Make sure you let me know what you guys are smoking on tonight. I need to know that, that's business. You know how we do, all right? Salute to everybody. Have a good evening. I know it's crazy out there. We will talk tomorrow morning on Waking Up with Ruckus, the Friday Freestyle edition. You know how we get down. Thank you very much. Salute.